Good morning and happy weekend, everybody. Thanks for joining us again on another fundamental and technical analysis with Cannin. This week we're looking back into the hemp industry. We're looking at the Global Hemp Group, GBHPF, on the OTC pink ticker here in the United States, also traded up north on the CSE. But today we're going to dive into an analysis looking at the OTC stock and analyzing what this hemp group is up to. So let's jump over to the pricing chart. You'll see we're looking at GBHPF again using our Hakanashi. And we have a couple things showing. We have our moving average, our simple moving average, which we've looked at many times in the past. Here you'll see I set it to 50 periods. So it's really smoothed out over time. This stock is trading pretty low, about 8 cents right now. It's been as high as 15, so maybe double that. And below we have EWO, and this is the Elliot Wave Oscillator. So the Elliot Wave Oscillator is actually the difference between two different moving averages. The first one is a 5 period, and the second one is a 35 period. So the moving average of the 5 period at close minus the moving average of the 35 period is what gives us the Elliot Wave Oscillator. And you can see it's represented as above 0, positive, shown in green, and below, shown in red. So the 5 period window, or moving average, is obviously much more responsive to price. As price goes up, the 5 moving average is going to change much more quickly than the 35. Therefore, anything above 0 is going to represent upward trends in price. Anything below 0 is going to represent downward moves in price. So it's a pretty quick way to see which way the trend is going. This is a trend confirming oscillator or indicator. It's pretty simple, so you want to pretty much stay away from trading right when we switch from negative to positive. Although sometimes it's tempting, seeing what happened in previous times. Had we done that here, nothing happened in price for a long time. But I'm going to show you a couple tricks with the Elliot Wave Oscillator that will help you analyze, along with other indicators, when to get into trades. So there are 3 criteria that most traders will use. The first one is the EWO positive? Yeah, that's a good one. The second one is it increasing or is it decreasing? So you can see here we're increasing up to about the 28th of August last year, and then we decrease. We want to get in the trade during the increases here. We don't want to get in the trade during the decreases, and that goes the same if we want to do an opposite type of trade. We want to get in the trade as the EWO is getting negative and getting more and more negative, not when it's coming back closer to 0. And the third one is, can use this moving average 50 period much longer than what the Elliot's going for. Use it to confirm the trend, right? If we're positive, EWO, criteria 1 is met, we're getting more and more positive, criteria 2 is met, and now my moving average is moving up, criteria 3 is met. We would not want to enter this trade if the moving average kept going down, 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 although the first 2 criteria are met. So let's use history to see what would have happened. Had we gotten in this trade here, criteria 1 is met, criteria 2 is being met, and finally right around here my moving average starts to move up. And so we would have gotten in at about 11 cents, and we would have had some gains to be had there, even if we would have stayed in the trade a little longer. What about the other way? Let's see if we can analyze this. We're going a little bit negative here. This was kind of sideways, so maybe you wouldn't have gotten in the trade, but maybe here we're negative and getting much more negative, more negative. What happens on the moving average? Right about here we start to move down, right? So maybe we have our enter in the trade there, and you can see it's about 10 cents. The price did go down to about 8 cents, so there would have been maybe 20% gains in that trade had we entered using all these 3 criteria. But this is a pretty simple analysis. It's here just so that we can learn. So learn the EWO, add it to your arsenal, add it with a momentum indicator or some of the other indicators that you like to use, and then use it to get in and out of trades. But Global Hemp Group this week, I hope you learned a lot. Use the EWO, add it to your tool shed, and thanks for listening.